Morning took a turn. Felix's first sail.
Past 1,000 nautical miles, we have a little dilemma.
Make you nervous?
Yeah.
I'm Ashley, and this is my husband Colin, and our newest crew member, Felix. For the past 2 years, we've been refitting our 91 Beneteau so we can take our family sailing. Join us as we finally set off on our first adventure to the Bahamas.
Good morning. If you can tell by the puffer, it is cold. We are wanting to head south, but we are on day 2 or 3 of trying to leave the dock and head south, but we're ending up getting hit with one little thing after the other. The day before, we were caught up in our tide window to get out. We don't have a bow thruster, so we leave it slack tide. It's not terrible, but what was terrible was a steady 25 knot wind coming from the port side of the boat that is pushing us into our neighbor right here. We're not leaving the marina right now. We were planning on leaving 10 minutes ago, but this huge sail is rolling in, and then it's gusting 35, 40 every now and then at the top of the mast. So you can probably hear it. We are gonna hunker down, and we're probably gonna miss this window to leave the dock, but we're gonna go first thing in the morning. So that wasn't fun. We decided not even to try it because we don't want to damage anyone else's boat. So we lost our 9 a.m. window there. Our next window was at 9 or something at night, but the bridge, we have to go under a drawbridge, and that wasn't opening that late. The wind completely died and it was perfect. So last night around 8 o'clock or so, when the wind was completely dead, we went to go put up the Genoa. As you can tell, it is completely laid out. Just to find the out that where the top rotator goes up, one of the sections, 2/3 of the way up, one of the sections, one of the little set screws that holds the foil together has backed out a little bit, or we're hoping that's what it is, but we couldn't get the sail up all the way. We tried and tried and tried, and then eventually I didn't want to damage it anymore. God, it's cold. 42 is cold for us, for me at least. Ashley's gonna go up the forestay, try to see if she can't figure out what screw has backed out, and hopefully it's something simple that she can just lock tight and screw back in. Hopefully we didn't do any damage trying to pull the sail up, because we didn't know until we were taking it up. We tried a couple times. I think it's a set screw. That's where we're at. Thought we'd be in warmer weather. Ashley's coming out with baby Felix now.
Oh, it stinks out here.
It stinks. I don't smell anything. But that's where we're at. Another thing we're adding before leaving is a second solar array here. So these were on sale on Amazon, so I picked them up. We weren't originally going to do this, but we decided to just because more solar is better. We got these for $70 a piece. They're 130 watt panels. So we'll have another 500 plus watts available to us. So in total, we'll have over 1,000 watts of solar. I just got done tying these on. So what I was saying before the camera died is, once we decide that we like where the solar panels are, I'm gonna do a more permanent installation, probably sew them into the bimini top. But for now, that's gonna hold. I'm gonna add some more lashing here at the next anchorage because it's not going to be windy for a couple of days, but it seems to be holding pretty good. It's blowing about 15 right now out there, gusting 15, and they are holding on tight. So I need to get a connector from the hardware store to connect them to our heavy gauge wiring that goes to the solar charge controller, because they're very different gauges. And once that is connected, then that solar array will be up and running.
Morning took a turn. Gonna go up the forestay. Let's see how this goes. My trick for this is just not looking down, and then you don't know how high you are. to myself. Sing to myself. See, it looks like the screw is just sticking out. But the screws are sticking out a little bit. I think I got it. Just a little bit. Now time to make my way back down. Turn you around so you can see where I'm at. Woo. It worked? Woo. Look at him. Felix's first sail. We did end up getting off the dock. It was a rush job, so stuff is everywhere.
It was, the tide and the wind were fighting each other, so slack tide ended up being an hour after actual low tide. So it ended up being perfect. We got the jib up and we kind of just were like, oh, look, a window, and we just went for it.
And it was the perfect undocking situation.
Perfect.
Undocking? Did you say undocking?
Undocking.
Yeah. Navy's joining us. Got our life jacket clipped in. My dad came with us for the first part to see how we do with Felix on board. And now we're leaving.
We are in the Charleston Harbor now. Everyone is settled in. We have crap everywhere because, as you know, it was a fire drill getting off the dock. But we're here. It's incredibly calm. It's incredibly calm out there past the jetties in the ocean. We're gonna have probably, it looks like 2 or 3 hours of 10 knots of breeze, and then it's supposed to die to literally nothing. So a lot of motoring today. We're got about 8 hours ahead of us. We're gonna try to get into a little inlet before dark, just because it's gonna be our first time anchoring in a while. So we just want to give ourselves some leeway and some room just to get settled with everything.
Getting into cleaner water, cleaner, bluer water.
We are just getting into Seabrook Island, behind the backside of Seabrook Island, where Kiowa is, outside of Charleston. So we made a quick little easy run from Charleston down here, about 25 to 30 miles or so, just because it's quick, like kind of shakedown sail before we start really making some miles here the next couple days. we're successfully anchored and we're at a wine bar having a now empty glass, but a quick little bite to eat, to a little celebrate. It was a very short 42, we actually did 42 nautical miles today, but it was still a lot of fun. And I'm just excited to not be in the marina and on the hook. And we're gonna move south to warmer weather. Good morning, everyone. It is bright and early here. Not quite too early, it's probably 8 o'clock. We have a short, small passage today from Seabrook Island up to Beaufort. It's gonna be short because the winds offshore aren't favorable for the next couple of days. Even today is mostly gonna be beating upwind really hard, if not completely unsaleable, because we're gonna be going straight into the wind. So we're gonna do a quick little 62-mile or so passage, go out of Seabrook, across Edisto Island, and then go up the whatever the inlet is that goes up to Beaufort, take the ICW a little bit, and end up in Beaufort. We're gonna hang out there for a day because, again, offshore, the next day it's supposed to be like 30 on the nose of the boat, and the swells are coming from the side, so it's just gonna be a wash machine and pretty awful conditions out there. So that is what sailing is. We're waiting for a nice little weather window to head further south, but we're gonna end up in Beaufort, which is a beautiful little town and lots to do there. I've sailed there growing up many a time. But yeah, so we're gonna pull the anchor up here. Beautiful marina inside the Seabrook Island. Beaufort beautiful anchorage inside of Seabrook Island. Beaufort Marina is behind me. This little anchorage was very quiet, great holding, nice soft muddy bottom. I don't know if a boat came by us one bit. It is the end of February, so it's getting a little bit cooler at night, but not terrible. Definitely doable, but there's no traffic, and it's been bliss, absolute bliss anchoring here. And what a view we have of the marsh and some nice houses over here and the Beaufort Marina there. But yeah, we're gonna be heading out there past those shrimp boats, way out, taking a left, and then heading on south. One little note that I want people to answer in the comments down below is, for those of y'all that are on a monohull like us and have dogs, we are struggling to find a place to put the dog mat. Catamaran people have it easy. They just put it on their trampoline and they have their mats, and the pee goes right through. But when the dogs do their business, the pee goes off to the side. Solids are fine, but if you have found a better solution of where to put the dog mat for the dogs, just let us know. The bow is not great because when we're offshore, they can't come up here, and we don't want them to come up here to use the bathroom. So if you got a solution for what has worked for you with dogs on a monohull, let us know in the comments, please, because we're looking for answers. Forward a little, just bump it. We are about 6 miles offshore still. We have a little over 4 hours to go. We are able to actually sail, which is nice. The sea breeze is starting to fill in a little, so the wind's clocking a little, so we can we're just making it easy and just getting the head sail out for now. But we're cruising along at about 7.5 knots. We're motor sailing right now, just trying to make up some time, given how slow we were going earlier. So we are still planning on getting into Beaufort tonight, where we're going to hang out for a day or so, maybe do a little bit of provisioning with stuff that we realized we kind of need. But yeah, that's where we're just kind of hanging in there. Just the whole family's just hanging out in the cockpit, just sailing, going along. No, it's on the GoPro. And just like that, we have passed 1,000 nautical miles owning the boat, because we put these chart plotters in when we bought the boat and it was still on the hard. The first 1,000 miles have been great. We're looking to do many, many more, but kind of an awesome accomplishment to grab on video. We're entering the Port Royal Sound. You can't maybe be able to tell, but just went through a hell of a washing machine right here at the entrance. A little nerve-wracking, to be honest, like a big 50-foot boat, having to hand steer it because autopilot can't keep up, and the periods between the waves are just so short that you're just getting tossed around. I just got to get my sea legs back when it comes to sailing this boat, because we've been in situations like that. It's been fine, but it's been about 2 years since we've been out here cruising with the boat. In any kind of condition like that, you kind of see it going on behind us. Hopefully y'all don't get seasick, but yeah, we're a couple hours away from the anchorage. We should be getting there right at sunset, so hopefully we can drop the hook before it is too dark, but we'll see what Beaufort has in store for us. We have a little dilemma. We're coming in with the tide coming up. This bridge coming into Beaufort doesn't have a tide board or a height board, so all the reviews on Active Captain have basically said if there are 5 or more horizontal boards showing, like the kind of boards that protect you from hitting the bridge, protect the bridge from you hitting it, then we should have at least 66, 67 feet of air draft, but we won't know. It's also, the sun has officially set and we're hauling butt. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. Whole boat shaking. We're doing like 2,200 RPMs right now. We're doing 8 knots with the current. So we're blasting towards this bridge. Hopefully we're gonna be able to see what the boards are before it gets too dark. Otherwise we're gonna anchor outside the bridge and move the boat at 5 a.m. at dead low tide. But the bridge is right there, and it's deceptively darker than it looks. Yeah, the lights just turned on because it thinks that the sun is set.
So that's 67. Well, 66. So we should be good to go. I put Felix in his bouncer to keep him occupied while we were doing this. Not even touching. Antenna's not touching though. Yeah. Make you nervous?
Yeah.